Hey, hello to the Norwalk, Connecticut Fire Department. I'm Eddie O'Leary. I'm the Senior Chief Damage Controlman on the USS Oak Hill. Thank you guys for having us for Fleet Week. On board the ship, basically I'm the easiest way to describe that is I'm the senior member of our ship's fire department, right? So if you take a look at some of the stuff we've got laid out here, what we've got is just kind of a brief overview of what we're capable of and how we combat fires and control damage on board ships, right? So cool thing about ships is they're very self-sufficient, right? So as soon as we get underway, we're doing everything ourselves. We're making our own water, processing our own trash, and for that reason we're responding to our own emergencies, right? So if there is a fire, a flood, toxic gases, anything like that, that's our responsibility. So I've got a core group of about 8 guys. What we do is we do all the preventative maintenance on all of our fire suppression systems, maintain all of our firefighting equipment, and then we train the ship's crew in capabilities of fighting fires, right? So every single member of the ship is required to get qualified to a certain extent to do this job, right? We just kind of get all the glory for it. So first thing we're going to talk about is some of our protective equipment. So this right here is our fire protective garment. You'll notice it's a one-piece suit. It's not like FDNY. We've got those fancy black 2-piece turnout gear, right? This is one piece. The reason we do that primarily is because of storage, right? We've only got a finite amount of space here, so we need to be able to store things efficiently, and it's more of a one-size-fits-all. So if Mitch here transfers one day, I don't have to replace all of his gear. I can use it for the next person, someone similar in size and build, right? So that's going to protect us from heat, smoke inside of a fire-affected space. A couple of the other things we got here, our firefighting helmet. Sorry, our firefighting helmet is a tempered plastic, just like you would see in conventional firefighting. Ours is going to look a little bit differently. We've got a track light installed on that front. It's very bright out here right now, so Mitch can turn it on, and you can see that the light's on. I can assure you, when it's dark, it's much brighter. But that's an LED track light for your own visibility, just so you can see a little bit better. And then if you take a peek at the back, you can see a blue LED on the back side. That's for the person behind you to make sure they can keep track of you inside of that space. We talked a little bit about how ships work. Ships are essentially a series of steel boxes all lined up in a row, right? So everything in us is steel, or most things here are steel. The difference between us and conventional firefighting is we're not poking any holes in the ship to ventilate fires.
Vincent Willis, your presence is respectfully requested on the quarterdeck.
All right, so we're gonna have a little bit different tactics. We're gonna do things a little bit differently than the FDNY would, but it's overall kind of the same type of thing. Some more of the protective clothing we have. We've got a flash hood. This anti-flash hood is going to protect our ears, neck, and portions of our face that aren't covered by our SCBA mask. The 5-finger gun cut steam block gloves. These are going to protect us from all the steam we create by putting water on fire inside of a steel box. Right. The self-contained breathing apparatus that Mr. Mitchell is putting on right now is a 45-minute cylinder of grade D breathable air. Right. So basically, this is just atmospheric air that we charge up real high, and we put it into a cylinder, and then that's going to give him roughly 45 minutes, depending on how much he drank the night before or anything like that. Right. So what he's got there is the protective mask. As soon as he puts that mask on his face and takes a deep breath in, he's got on-demand positive pressure air, right? So that's gonna provide him with the air that he needs to fight fires and operate in a smoke-filled compartment, right? Boots. We'll talk boots real quick. So we have a standard Navy firefighting boot. This is an 18-inch tall boot. We always tell people it's 18 inches tall, and we train the ship that way because we can use it as a reference point if you've got flooding in a space, right? We know this boot's 18 inches tall. There's a foot of water in here. I don't know. So we always use that as a reference. These have a steel toe and a steel shank through the sole of the boot. The reason for that is, again, everything is metal, right? So if we take some kind of impact damage, we don't want to get impaled by any sharp, jagged edges from steel poking or broken or anything like that sticking out through the deck. All right. Next thing is this the space suit. That's for when we go to outer space. Just kidding, right? So that's our proximity suit. The proximity suit we use for fighting fires up here, right? So we're responsible for fighting fires on the flight deck as well. We can catch ospreys, we can catch helicopters here, and we do it pretty frequently, right? So if one of those helicopters were to crash, there's a few things that you need to know about. First off, does everybody see that little bump right there, the little silver bump? There's a bunch of them on the flight deck. We've got 48 of them, right? There's 48 of those on the flight deck, and what those do is those are, when we get back up underway, we'll take those covers off, and those are flush deck firefighting nozzles. So if we have a helicopter crash here, we're gonna have a guy sitting up in that tower, and he's gonna push a button, and within about 30 seconds, this entire flight deck is gonna be covered in firefighting foam, right? So we'll provide foam and provide complete coverage to any fuel or anything like that that gets spilled on the deck, and save ourselves that way. That proximity suit is going to be to rescue personnel, right? The proximity suit is going to be able to maintain, protect you from higher temperatures in our regular firefighters ensemble. And the reason for that is because sometimes you're going to need to walk through fire to get to that pilot who's stuck inside, right? So we can excuse me, we can walk through fire and flames in order to get the pilot or whoever is still stuck in that aircraft. We can extract them utilizing this gear.
The firefighter use this also?
Yes, yeah. So the ones to the left are for inside, the ones to the right are for up here, up outside. Right? We'll still use the SCBA same gear, and then we've got some access and overhaul equipment here. The last thing we'll talk about just briefly is this set of clothes all the way to the right here. This is a joint service lightweight integrated suit technology. Any of you who are familiar with the military know we use acronyms for no reason at all, right? So that is a JS list suit. This is a chemical protective garment, right? So when bad guys put bad things in the air, we can protect ourselves using this stuff, right? So we've got our chemical protective garment that's going to protect us from a chemical agent, nerve agent, for about 24 hours. And then that joint service mask right there, all of the American and Allied forces use this mask now. So the Army, Navy, Air Force, Marines, we all use that mask. The British use it, everything. So it's kind of like a NATO compliant thing. So if we're embedded with another country, we have foreign nationals here deploying with us or anything like that, then we'll be able to kind of cross-train and use each other's gear, right? Who's got questions so far? Mentioned foam system. The foam system is going to be a mixture of 6% AFFF concentrate and 94% seawater, right? It's our most bountiful resource is the ocean, right? So we use it for everything. We flush our toilets with seawater, right? And that's just how it works, right? Anything else, camera? The kids usually like this, so we'll let everybody take a peek at it, right? So we use this, again, everything's steel, we're all stuck inside, and it's very dark, difficult to see. We're going to use this to be able to identify heat sources, right? This is going to register a temperature differential of less than 4 degrees. So we can see any kind of heat transfer, whether it be through conduction, convection, radiation, however it works. We're going to be able to see it utilizing this thing right here. Alright, so you guys want to take a peek? You want to look? You can hold it. I trust you. Alright, so can you look at my face? No.
Hit the wrong button.
So you see my face will look different here than it does right here? Alright, so it's because my skin's warm and my sunglasses are cold, right? So it looks different. I probably look like a weirdo, right? So watch this. So if you take a look at my hand right here, I'm going to put my hand on this, I'm going to transfer some heat to it, right? And then when I pick my hand up,